Hey, good morning, Facebook. What's up, guys? What's up, social media world? I want to check in with you guys real quick before I just got the kids off to school and I'm getting ready to head in for the day and have our Tuesday morning level 10 executive meeting. It's the hour and a half per week that I concentrate 100% on my team. Spend an hour and a half with my team, talk about high-level things, and those of you that follow me know that this is really the hour and a half that I concentrate solely on the real estate business. And if I wanted to, could be the only hour and a half that I put into the business each and every week. But I want to talk about that for a second, right? Because one of my favorite books that I've ever read to this day, and I don't care, bar none, I have hundreds of books up here on the shelf. In fact, I can give you guys a quick sneak peek, right? You guys see? This is just a piece of the bookshelf, right? And then I got copies of a lot of the books that I love. I should gift them a lot. But that's just one of the bookshelves. I got a whole other bookshelf over there with hundreds of books, right? And I read a lot, right? But one of my favorite books to this day, I read back in 2007, is The 4-Hour Workweek. I read it when it first came out. And actually at that time, I was just getting into real estate. I was just getting into the real estate business. And I was just getting into being self-employed. I had just gotten out of the military, made a transition through some corporate project management type stuff, and just getting back into Jersey and starting to do fix and flips on my own, right? And at that time, I was going through this transition, realizing that if I'm going to fix and flip stuff, I did my first couple projects literally by hand. Me and my business partner actually went out and flipped our first 2 or 3 homes 100% by ourselves. And I realized, man, I got to leverage, right? I got to grow a team. I got to figure out a way to stop doing this by myself, or otherwise I'm never going to do enough properties. I'm never going to do enough business to accomplish anything, to build a portfolio, to build a track record, or to have enough volume to make enough money, right? So I really took the 4-Hour Workweek to heart, which was basically to build efficiencies, to leverage your time, to find ways to be able to do things on automation, autopilot, stuff like that, right? So I love the book, right? I love the idea. But here's the thing. Here's what really happens and the truth behind the matter, right? The fact is this, guys. I could work 4 hours a week on that business if I wanted to. But the beauty behind the 4-Hour Workweek is not that you want to work 4 hours a week, right? The beauty behind it is any full-time entrepreneur, any business owner will tell you this, right? If at any given week that I wanted to work 4 hours, I have the opportunity that I could just work 4 hours, right? I could go to a beach, I could hop on a plane, I could do whatever I want and disappear for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks if I wanted to. And I could just check in for a couple hours each week and I could do that and I could run our companies. That's the magic behind the 4-Hour Workweek. But the truth behind it is, and really if you had Tim Ferriss's cell phone, he would tell you the same thing. Tim is not working 4 hours a week, right? The entrepreneur's brain is wired to work nonstop. In fact, I say this all the time, but I never know what day of the week it is. I really never do. I have to constantly look at my Google Calendar to figure out even what day of the week it is, where we're at. In fact, one of the only things that reminds me what day of the week it is whether or not my kids are in school, right? So whether I'm spending the whole day with them or I'm just getting the afternoon and dinner time with them, right? So entrepreneurs are wired to constantly be driven, constantly be thinking. And the beauty of creating a system and processes and a team and accountability and leverage to be able to work 4 hours or less per week on one business is the ability to go out and start other ventures, start affiliate businesses, start a chain of affiliate or related businesses within your unique ability and your proven process, right? So then you can start to have multiple streams of income that are all related to the same thing. So what happens is now you're starting to put in a couple hours a week on this business, a couple hours a week on this business, a couple hours a week on this business, and you might start to work 20, 30 hours a week, but you might be running 6 or 7 businesses, right? That's the leverage. That's the importance of the 4-Hour Workweek. It's the ability for yourself to learn to grow to different levels. Folks, there's a reason why the wealthy in America are so wealthy. It's because they have multiple streams of income. It's because they've had the ability to step aside and say, I can create more than just a paycheck. I can create multiple streams of income from multiple different places. That way, when one isn't doing so well, I have 4 or 5 others that are there to pick me up. I have 4 or 5 others that are there to insulate me. And if one does really well, it can help substantiate the others that maybe aren't doing so well, and vice versa, right? So when you say 4-hour work week, no entrepreneur that's passionate about their business, that is excited about what they do, that gets up every morning to be surrounded by great culture and loves the team that they work with, is interested in only working 4 hours a week. Guys, we're working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Our brain is constantly thinking of ways we can create value, help our team get better, create more opportunity, create better relationships, create better things for those relationships, help our investors. I mean, it's a constant. Those of you that know that you can't turn it off up here, right? Between your ears, it's like constant wheels turning, right? It's almost difficult to a certain extent once you've built that machine to not only work there an hour and a half a week, right? Once I stepped out of my real estate business, it's actually become difficult to not go there every day and just check in and see what's going on, because I know that I can become a micromanager, and I know that I can really, kind of become the monkey wrench within the system, right? So I try to stay away from them. I try to allow them to breathe. I try to allow them to do their job, right? If this resonates with you guys, hit that like button, or definitely share this with others. The fact is, I want the takeaway to be, the idea behind it is, yes, you do want to get one of your businesses to 4 hours. You do want to get each of your businesses down to 4 or less. That's the ultimate goal, is to systematize, help to create efficiencies, help to create hiring good people so that you can get leverage and processes dialed in. But the idea behind it is the freedom that it allows you to go and then create other opportunities. The freedom it allows you to go and then do other things. And those other things don't have to be other businesses, right? Maybe you get to do 1 or 2 businesses, but then you want to do a charity. About 4 years ago, my wife and I had the ability to take some time aside and finally create a charity that we wanted to. That was a passion project for me for many years. I've been out of the military now for, I don't even want to date myself, it's been a long time, but I've been out of the military for years when I decided finally to create a charity for veterans. Took me a long time to do that. I thought it was going to be overwhelmingly difficult, and I had to put all this time aside. And when I finally decided, now I'm going to do it, I realized it wasn't that difficult to do, right? But then I had to rally people around, and I had to raise money and do all that stuff. That was difficult. That was time consuming. But the act of just starting the charity turned out to not be that bad. When you start to have time to think about those things, time to decide on what you want to do, time to figure out what's next, to plan your steps, slowing down in order to speed up, right? That's the beauty of being able to create the efficiencies. That's the beauty of being able to push yourself down to a 4-hour work week, right? So folks, at the end of the day, nobody who's a major entrepreneur, nobody who's really dedicated and passionate about what they do wants to work 4 hours a week, right? But that's what's sexy. That's what sells books, right? Think about that, internalize that, and how can we create more? How can we create better? How can we create something that's going to last longer than you, longer than your kids, longer than your great-grandkids, a legacy that's going to last generations? That's the point. That's what we're trying to build for you, for your team, for your people, for everyone around you. If you need help with that, I'd love to help you. Send me a PM. Let's talk about it. And if you find value in this video, all I ask is that you share it with 1 or 2 people. Put in a message. Copy and paste the link and put it in a message and say, hey, I think you should check this guy out. That's all I ask, guys. That's the only reason I'm doing these videos, to share the message with you, to hopefully make your day and your week a little bit better. So have an amazing day, guys. I appreciate you.